It started early and it didn't stop.
One by one, cars made their way around detours and stops, and very slowly, thousands of drivers made their way into Anchorage this morning.
But it took some commuters as long as 7 hours to make a drive that normally takes 1. And it's all because of a truck that was too tall.
Good evening, everyone. Bridgepocalypse, Carmageddon. Those are just some of the nicknames that drivers are calling this major shutdown of part of the Glen Highway.
And tonight, we still don't know when it will end. And now ASD has canceled school for Chugiak and Eagle River schools tomorrow.
Let's take a time lapse now of the morning commute today along the detour route, and it's pretty much the only way that you can see the cars moving. It's pretty slow.
It's certainly a headache for many drivers, but it's a lot more than just that. We have team coverage this evening. Beth
Verge is live with what you need to know for your drive home and your drive to work tomorrow. Victoria Taylor has how businesses are handling an unexpected loss of workers. Rebecca Palsha has a look at who's going to pay for all of this mess.
But we begin tonight with Channel 2's Tracy Sinclair. She's flying above the traffic nightmare. Good plan, and she has the very latest.
Mike, Maria, you know, traffic coming out of Anchorage tonight is actually doing pretty well. And I have two theories about this. One, I think a lot of people turned back this morning as well. Some people have probably just got to work a couple hours ago and decided they needed to stay a little bit longer. So for tonight, though, what we're focused on is the new construction that we're already seeing. They are building a temporary ramp to help traffic for tomorrow morning. And we can already see the trucks out here trying to get that going for tomorrow morning's commute. Hopefully it'll be a little easier than this morning, which did, as you said, take some people very long to get into town.
So Tracy, there was a wreck on another part of the Glen Highway this afternoon. Were you able to check that out? What did you see?
It was already cleared by the time we got up here, but it was down at the North Eagle River exit, and according to Anchorage police, it was basically a car going too fast, ran into another car. Because of all of the traffic, troopers couldn't get to them. They did have to be helicoptered out. There were 2 injuries. I don't know the current status of that right now, but we are dealing with a lot of slow traffic, and there really isn't a way for emergency vehicles to get through this in some cases.
And have you flown over the bridge yet? What does that damage look like?
We have, and actually, you really can't see much damage from our viewpoint, but they are starting to work to get, it looks like they're already bringing in parts to get the bridge fixed. And as I said, they're working on this new ramp, hopefully to ease traffic and make it so that Friday morning is not quite as bad as Thursday morning was.
Right, and what we're looking at there is they're doing some construction. They're going to detour some of the southbound, inbound traffic off on essentially the service road, get past where the overpass is busted up, and then get it back on the Glen Highway. That's what you're looking at there. They're doing some construction work. They're hoping to have that in place for tomorrow morning. Let's head now to our team on the ground. First up, reporter Beth Verge.
Beth, what are you seeing from there, and is there anything authorities are trying to get across now to commuters?
Absolutely. Well, a lot of people already know kind of the nuts and bolts of this story. Yesterday, an 18-wheeler hits the overpass behind me at the South Eagle River exit. There's some damage to the outer edge of that of course, caused the closure of this section of the Glen Highway. As locals know, this is an arterial roadway, and so a lot of damage in that area causes big headaches for commuters, as you all showed our viewers just moments ago. Now, we did catch up with APD Chief Justin Dahl this afternoon. There's a lot going on in this area, not only with some of these spots being fixed, but a brand new ramp. And I also want to let you know as well about a specific detour. One inbound lane of the Glen Highway will be open at the North Eagle River Road exit. Traffic will be diverted to the South Eagle River Road exit, travel over Artillery Road onto Eagle View Drive, and then be diverted back onto the Glen Highway via a new access point. So essentially, DOT is working right now on a new ramp so that you can both get on and off at the Eagle River exit. Here's what APD Chief Dahl had to say today about his force's role in working on these detours.
APD committed an extraordinary amount of resources to making that as smooth as we possibly could this morning. We knew that it was going to be problematic.
Now, he did not discount at all the fact that while people are still going to be going through Eagle River, some will be going this way instead. You do really need to take it carefully, though. Take it easy out there. Give yourself a lot of time. I know one of our employees actually said it took 2 hours to move 2 miles this morning. So definitely plan that out. And and make sure that you're checking KTUU.com for any updates.
All right, Beth Verge reporting live tonight. Thanks, Beth. Well, the detour through Eagle River had many drivers frustrated this morning. We wanted to know, how were businesses along the route feeling?
And Channel 2's Victoria Taylor has that answer. Victoria.
Sure, Mike and Maria. So right now I am in Eagle River's. We're located along Eagle River's Business Boulevard. This is exactly where that detour led drivers. Not so bad right now. It's traffic's moving, but when we first got out here earlier this afternoon, it was that steady bumper to bumper crawl. So I spoke with several businesses in this area, including a dry cleaner, a bookstore, and even a cafe. Many of them tell me today was a bit slower than normal, despite the steady traffic. And here's one I didn't even think about, a tow truck business. When it comes to the cost of a tow this morning, Arctic Express said it was calculating fees based on time and not just mileage, running at least an additional $60 an hour.
The customer, and I understand, they can't afford to pay my driver's time in traffic, and I can't afford to send my driver where he's going to be basically out of service for an hour and a half just to get through, Eagle River.
And coming up a little bit later in the news hour, I'll talk to you guys with some of those concerns that business owners shared with me today about getting their supplies.
All right, thanks, Victoria. Bighorn Enterprises is the company that owns the rig that hit the bridge. That's according to the Department of Transportation.
So what happens now and who's going to pay to fix this mess? For that story, we turned out to Channel 2's Rebecca Paulshow. Rebecca?
Mike and Maria, we're here on the outbound lane of the Glen Highway. We're at the way station. It's just after 6 o'clock. Usually this road is far busier than this. Right now we're in an area where things are still moving relatively quickly, but of course there aren't nearly as many people on the road where we are. Now, as for what went wrong, DOT says that rig was permitted for 17 feet. That bridge much higher than 18 feet. So what happened and what went wrong here? I called Bighorn today, but none of my calls were answered, and the voicemail was full. The company's Facebook page deactivated. Now, according to the company's website, it's based in Fairbanks. DOT isn't saying much about the company yet because this is an ongoing investigation that DOT is leading, and no one has been cited in this instance. As for paying for this is very expensive. Here's what DOT had to say.
It would probably be up to the courts to decide. I can tell you that in other cases, when we have, a driver might damage a piece of our infrastructure, we do make a file against, we make a claim against their insurance to help us pay for the repairs.
So this could, in theory. Again, this is an open investigation. No one has been cited. DOT is leading that investigation. Back to you.